Big shoe. All right, peace, y'all. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Stephon James Johnson said you just sent an email. Where did you send it to? Where'd you send the email to? All right, let's have this discussion. Mastermind, New York City, February 28th. We are coming closer to that date. If you haven't secured a spot yet, seats are limited for this NYC Mastermind. Now, there's been a lot of people that asked us to do an event in New York. So this is our first event that will be in New York, right? And being totally transparent because I like to be upfront with you guys and be as real as possible with you. This is, we know what we're going to teach. I'm not worried about whether it's a transformational event. It will be a transformational event. But depending on the reaction from you, we're going to see how this goes. And this will determine if we're taking this show on the road. Because a lot of people ask us, they comment, they inbox, hey, come to Tennessee. Hey, can you come to Florida? Hey, can you come to Delaware? Can you come teach in Georgia? And we would love to do it all, right? But there has to be some provision for your vision. It costs to move around. You understand what I'm saying? So we do we do things and we test things. We use data, even for when we're doing in-person events. We use data to let us know what we should do next. So if this mastermind goes great, then we probably will have another mastermind, right? But I'm 100% about those that's already have claimed their seats, right? Because the seats are limited. We have had people claim their seats already. I'm 100% positive and sure about what we're going to do and about what we're going to teach. So that will be transformational because typically we're presenting about the land industry. Typically we're telling you, giving you an overview analysis of all that the industry offers. When we do this mastermind, the mastermind will be teaching. The mastermind, you'll have to, well, I recommend you come with your laptop, right? I'm assuming everyone has one, but I can only assume because we'll be actually diving in and I'll be giving you actual things to look at and actual things to do. I don't want to just talk about the space. That day, we'll be doing hands-on activities. So when you leave there, you can write them in your notes on your laptop, pen and paper, whatever, however you learn, you can get home and you can continue to take what you learned that day and keep moving forward with it. So comment the word top 20 to claim a seat. February 28th, come spend a whole day with us. It'll be an 8-hour day. So if you are planning to come, block off that time or clear your schedule for that day because it's just going to be strictly teaching that day. February 28th, we will be in NYC. All right, comment the word top 20 to claim a spot. Now, even if you're not in the New York City area, don't let a good thing pass you by. We've had events in other areas and had people travel across the country. We've had an event in Georgia, had people come in from Canada, people from California. Don't let a good thing pass you by. Plan accordingly. All right? Plan accordingly. It's only room for 20 people. We have a few seats left. Only room for 20 people. We strategically kept it small and intimate so we will be able to cater to everyone's needs and make sure when we're teaching, we want to make sure that you're getting everything that you need to get. So we strategically kept this one to an intimate audience. Want you to be one of those in the room. Now, let's take a look at my post for today. And I want to comment on this because a few people commented on the post, and I feel like I need to clarify some things of exactly what this means and what happened, right? So the post says a man in Pennsylvania was offered $15 million to allow a data center to be built near his home, but he refused because he wanted to protect his land and quiet life. My comment on this for social was, well, let me explain the backstory. The backstory was he ended up leasing the developmental rights out to the company for them to develop on it for $2 million. Now, that's where a lot of people are getting confused at right there. What does that mean, right? My comment was, would you have took the 15 million or would you have leased it for and let them develop on the property and took the 2 million? That was my comment. It's a bunch of different people saying a bunch of different things. No one's right, no one's wrong. But I do want to clarify what exactly he did, because a lot of people are unaware that you can just rent your land or lease your land out. They have something that's called developmental rights, and you can lease that out, allowing a company to buy that from you. These are all negotiated terms, by the way, right? So I don't know. I haven't seen the contract of what they negotiated. Social media runs wild with things. So I can't say when he leased it, is it an ongoing payment or was it a one-time payment? I don't know. Only him and that company probably would know that. If it were me personally, because I'm in the business and I study areas, if it were me, I would have took the 15 million, or let me not just jump at the 15 million. I would have researched my area because he wanted to stay in that area. I would have researched my area to see if any other land was on sale. His property was not worth $15 million. Wasn't worth $15 million. It was significantly less than $15 million. So I would have researched the market or hired a realtor if I didn't know how to research the market to find out if I could have got a better or equivalent property at what price point. Then I would have made a determination from there. That's what I would have did. If I could have found an equivalent or better property, I would have took the $15 million. Then I would have just bought another property or a better property, just relocated to another area, and then I would have probably invested the rest or put it away somewhere or whatever it is. That's what I would have did. Now, I'm not saying that it was a bad idea that he took the 2 million and he leased it, because I don't know what the lease was. The lease could have been a sweet lease. It could have been 2 million plus $100,000 a month for the next 10 years. No one knows. Because if that was the scenario, that may not be a bad idea as well, to take the 2 million, then whatever the lease per month. I don't know. Now, data centers. This is why this is very important to be studying these markets, because these data centers, they're paying top dollar for land. How do I know that? Because just check, some may have heard me say it before. Go to Google or go to Zillow and type in Maricopa County, and you'll see that Maricopa County, the land is just desert land in Maricopa County. And you'll see that that desert land is going for millions of dollars. And I know for a fact when we came into business, Maricopa County was an area that we studied. That same land, you used to can get it for a couple of hundred, not even hundreds of thousands, 30, 40, 50,000, 60, 70, 80,000 for, 20, 30 acres. Numbers like that. So data centers now, because they have to find vacant land, and this is why when we talk about inner city versus outside of the city limits, it's not a lot of areas in the inner cities that you can go and get 40, 50 acres on a regular basis. They don't exist readily, or they're not readily available like they would be on the outskirts. So these data centers, they're going around, they're snatching up these large plots of lands on the outskirts, and they're paying big bucks for them. Big bucks for them. And that's the game. This is why we have to learn how to study markets. And this is why I always say, we put a post up the other day about they forced us to the city lights when, in contrast, the areas that have no lights and dark, those are the areas that they don't want you to focus on. The lights, they want you to run to the light. The dark areas are where they're focusing on next. That's where the next developments are coming. These rural areas, these quiet areas, not in the city areas. The dark areas, the rural areas, the quiet areas, that's where they'll be going next. It has worked that way since the beginning of time. Develop an area till you can't develop it anymore, then common sense states that they have to go where? To where the land is available next. Prime example is Atlanta, Georgia. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I don't have the exact date, we all heard of Atlanta, but then you have Atlanta in the center. Then around Atlanta, they started developing around Atlanta. Right outside Atlanta, 20, 30 years ago, one county over or one city over, they was calling that rural. 2 cities over, they was calling that even more rural. Now it's regular. And now Atlanta sits in Fulton County. I noticed because we study the markets, there's only 5% of people that own the land in Fulton County. The rest are companies, LLCs. Now, why does 95% of the landowners are all LLCs in Atlanta? Why? Why? Why is that? Because they knew 25, 30 years ago, they saw that it was starting to, people were starting to migrate. So they got in front of it because 25, 30 years ago, they could have got it for much cheaper than it is now. So they went and bought as much as they could because they saw the migration. We studied something that's called migration maps. Migration maps let us know where people are relocating to. Why is that important? Because the land market follows the housing market. If the housing market is booming, the land market is booming as well. If the housing market is not doing so well, in tradition, the land market is probably a little down in that area as well. Traditionally. So they went out and they bought all the land, all the LLCs, they bought all the land because they saw it getting hot. And as it went up in value, because that's typically what it does, why does it go up in value and really fast? It starts going really fast when they start developing in the area. When you see new subdivisions popping up, when you start seeing new commercial buildings popping up, everything is going to increase in value. It's going to appreciate. The housing market goes up first. The land market will follow the housing market. So right now, 2026, this I know for a fact because I've had conversations. I'm in the business. I've had conversations with developers. They're 2 counties over from Fulton County, and they're buying up all the land right now. Why? They're not even developing it. They're not looking to develop it. I had a conversation with a major developer, and I thought that we wanted to attempt to build a subdivision. And he laughed at me. He said, well, why you want to build a subdivision? All of that work. That's not where the money is. I said, where's the money at then? Right? So you don't know what you don't know. He said, that's not the money. That's going to take a lot of time, energy, and effort. Yeah, sure. If you ever get to completing it, you can make some good money. But there's a lot of things that go into building subdivisions, zoning, and all of this type of stuff. He said, the money, I don't even want to have this conversation on social because you may not understand. All right. I won't have it. But however, I will say this. They're buying land 2 counties over right now, and they're just sitting on the land. I will say it. The money is getting, the real money is getting land entitled. I'm not going to explain what entitlements are because, that's a little more for people that have more experience. But the real money in land is getting land entitled. That's it. If you know how to get land entitled, that's where you'll sell it for max over retail asking price. That's where the money is at. So what major developers have started doing, instead of developing this, they take the time to get a subdivision entitled, get the lots of the subdivision entitled, however many lots. I hope I'm not losing you on this. However many lots that subdivision is broken down into, right? They'll get it entitled and then they'll sell it to another developer. And they'll sell it for top dollar. Why does it go for top dollar? It goes for top dollar because the other developer at that point, he doesn't have to do anything or spend any time with getting permits and things like that. He just comes in and he cracked what they call ready to crack ground. In layman's term, he comes in and they just start building. It's like somebody giving you a certificate and saying, don't worry about the permits. Don't worry about the zoning. I've done it all for you. So they'll pay top dollar because it's pretty much all they have to do is just come in and start building. All right. So they're 2 counties over and they're buying up a bunch of plots of land and they're waiting for the wave to turn that way. And that's the game. 2 counties over. What do you think is there? It's pretty rural. It's not fully developed like Fulton County. But at some point, just like it happened in Fulton County, just look around, it moved further and further out, all the way down to South Fulton. And South Fulton is being developed right now. And when South Fulton is fully developed, like the rest is, they'll move to the next county. It's like a piñata. When you can't stuff anymore in the piñata, you have to get a new piñata. That's how the game is played. And it's like they play it like this. Don't tell them who is them. Y'all know who them is. Don't tell them how this game is played. Because if we knew, we would be doing the same thing. You build it, they'll come. Just actual fact. And why do you want to get it ahead of time? Because that's when you get it for cheap. You don't wait. It's like a stock. You don't wait till the IPO drops and then everybody runs out and get it. Then it zooms to the top of the price point. That's the wrong time to get it. You get it when it's cheap. So you have to study the market to see what's happening next, where people are going to, what is moving in the areas. And that's a little next level investing. All right. But top 20, comment top 20, come spend some time with us in New York City at our mastermind. We won't be doing entitlements at the mastermind. That we won't be getting into, but we will be breaking it down for everyday people that's looking to get started in, beginner land investing, that you can make some really good alternative money. That's what this is going to be hyper focused on, right? We can't start on a much experience level because you have to cross your T's and dot your I's. We can't skip rungs on the ladder. All right. So we have to start where we are and continue to build that way. All right. That's my rant for today. Hope you're having a really good day. Ours is moving. It's a Monday. Mondays are always, like setting the week up. What's this week? What do we have to accomplish this week? Right. So I always advise, get your list and start writing down the top 5 things that you do, or the top 3 things you want to get done for the day, and so on and so forth. Tuesday, Wednesday. By the time Friday get here, you have accomplished 12 to 15 things. That's a productive week. Those 12 to 15 things doesn't necessarily have to be business either. It could be personal things. It could be whatever it is. It's just a way to hold ourselves accountable to make sure that we're not stagnant, because stagnation is a real thing. A lot of times people get caught up into doing this, right? You spend so much time on this. You should check how much your user time is on your phone too, because you might be spending too much time just watching nothing. All right. That's why these lists are important. Extra stuff off your list. All right. And then if you have some time, then you can, if that's what you do, then you can start to spend time in your phone and watching whatever you watch. But make sure that we're getting something done, right? That we're being productive. Hold yourself accountable. Don't let nobody else hold you accountable too. All right. Nobody gonna treat you better than you. All right. That's my rant for today. Peace. Love.